Hello there. This video is not a replacement for professional advice, and everyone's situation is different. What I'm going to state are facts, and they are generally good for the vast majority of people. However, this doesn't replace your specific situation. Your situation might be different. Keep that in mind. This is not a perfect one-size-fits-all thing. Nutrition isn't like that. I'm making this video to say lose weight is a bad term. This is a story I've seen a lot of times. I'm going to use kilos because that's what I'm familiar with. The numbers don't actually matter, it's the principle. Someone will look on the scales and I'll see I'm at 85 kilos. I don't like that. I want to lose weight. So I'm going to try and hit 75 kilos. So what they'll do is they'll start jogging. They'll eat a bit better. They might start doing gardening work to burn some fat and calories and all that jazz. They'll start pumping some iron. They'll start doing squats. They'll do all that kind of thing. And then they'll see the weight go down. They'll go from 85, 83. A couple of weeks later, maybe they're at 81. Maybe they lose half a kilo the next week. Maybe another week they sort of sit about 77, or the next month they're at 77. And then they'll stop. They'll hit this wall. And they'll go, but I'm doing everything I can. I'm running, I'm jogging, I'm lifting weights, I'm being active, I'm cutting all the crap out of my diet. Why am I not losing weight? I give up. It's too much. Why try? Why bother? That story I've seen many, many times. This is why lose weight is a bad term. Muscle weighs more than fat. And a lot of people will put on a lot of muscle when they change their diet and they start doing exercise. Even if you're focusing on cardio, you'll put on some muscle if you're taking in the appropriate nutrients. And as a result, because muscle weighs more than fat, people are not losing as much weight as they want to. And they just completely don't take into account that their legs are stronger, they've got bigger arms, they've got bigger shoulders, their calves are really strong now, and their legs that were flabby before are now a lot more muscly, and there's very little fat around their quads. And they'll give up. And then they become obese, or they just become fat again. What people mean, the vast majority, when they say they want to lose weight, is that they want to burn body fat and reduce their body fat percentage. The key difference is that losing weight, you can drop down to 60 kilos and be basically skin and bone, but that's not healthy. A lot of people will look at a BMI chart and they'll see that they're clinically obese. They'll completely neglect to take into account that they have a big build. Or people see they're underweight and they'll neglect to take into account they have a very small build. And that's natural and normal, and there's nothing wrong with it. Some people will never have a healthy BMI whilst being healthy. That's just kind of a individual situational basis to situational basis kind of thing. But a lot of people will just give up and go back to the way they were. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, when you're trying to lose weight, you're actually trying to burn your body fat, most likely. You are. There's very few people that aren't. The vast majority of you will be doing that. So, take into account that you don't have your belly anymore. Your arms aren't as flabby. You've just got tight muscle along there now. You have a six-pack now. Your quads are really strong. Take that into account for the love of God, and do not give up because you didn't hit some arbitrary target. You shouldn't set a weight goal. That's horrible. You want to set a health goal. You want to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and go, I can actually see my abs. I've got very little body fat. My legs are looking muscly. My arms are looking good. I look and feel healthy for my size. You know, a big guy, he will still be a big guy, but instead of it being all fat, he'll have muscle there. Brilliant. That is what you want to be aiming towards. You do not just want to lose weight. Now, if you're going to go about this sort of goal, do not starve yourself. It's horrible. So I'm going to explain something real quick. So the body burns, and there's three primary types of energy. There is more. Your body can burn protein, but you don't want to get to that point, really. Sugar, carbs, fat, okay? Sugar is your short-release energy. Most of you probably know this. That's why if you have a Mars bar, you have a burst of energy. You have your sugar in your bloodstream, you're ready to sprint. Boom. That's your sugar energy expenditure. Carbohydrate. That's your long-term energy source. So if you have a bunch of potatoes or a lot of bread, pasta, anything to that effect, your body will burn that energy over the course of the day, over a long period of time. So you won't get as much energy immediately from having a Mars bar and be able to sprint 200 meters, but you will be able to jog a lot longer, work a lot longer. That's why your day tends to be less draining when you have some carbohydrate in your diet. Then you have fat. Fat is a rich energy burning nutrient. Fat has been demonized in recent times. It is essential. It is a very good nutrient. Fat is not bad. The reason we have fat and the reason we store it and we get fat is because back when we were cavemen, food wasn't always available. And so what food we did get, we'd have to eat acquire as much of whatever nutritional deposit we found and consume it. Our body would store that as fat. Fat can then be burned efficiently, and you get a lot of energy for your fat. So if we were cavemen and you couldn't get food for 2 or 3 more days, you'd have time. But what happens is, if you don't get any more food for a few days, then your body enters survival mode. It goes, shit, I'm getting absolutely no intake, I'm going to die. So what happens then is it puts the brakes on all of your energy production and all your energy source burning, and you'll feel drained, and it's horrible, and you will suffer, and it will probably damage your mental health. It is not healthy. It will damage you, and it can even damage you permanently. It's bad. Do not starve yourself. Now, there is a diet type called intermittent fasting. That's its own specialized thing. It's not the same as starvation. I'm not going to comment too much on that, but it is its own separate thing, and it's skirting on starvation. It's its own kind of thing. It's not really going to starve you. When I say starvation, I mean eat nothing. Not healthy. This is why losing weight is a bad term. You're not trying to hit an arbitrary weight goal. You want to look in the mirror and you want to know that you are healthy. Some people, a lot of people, put on weight when they're getting healthy. When I start working out, which I have done recently, I've been getting back more into my sport, my being physically active. I've put on about 5 to 7 kilos depending on the day. Well, 3 to 7 depending on the day, water weight, all that kind of stuff. I'm healthier than when I was before. And when I was before, I was slap bang in that middle of that BMI chart, slap bang in the middle. And now I'm not, but I'm healthier. I can jog for longer. I can do my sport for longer. I'm overall much, much stronger. I'm not struggling with tasks that I did before. And most things that I would do in day-to-day life are really easy. And stuff that was remotely challenging is now a joke. This is why losing weight is a shit term. You want to burn your body fat. Now, if you want to go about burning your body fat, the best way of going about it is to cut out the sugar and the carbs and eat fat and protein primarily. Sounds backwards. I'm going to eat fat to burn fat. The 3 energy sources: sugar, carbs, fat. If you deny these 2, your body only has fat to burn. So if you eat fat, your body will burn fat. Now, it sounds crazy. Why would you not just starve yourself at that point? Because of the aforementioned reasons, but also you don't want to enter that starvation state. So you feed your body this nutrient to keep your energy systems going. It's called the ketosis diet. It's where you minimize your carb intake and maximize your protein and fat intake. It's a much healthier way of going about it. Most people don't need this. Most people can just eat a good diet, get a bit more active, and just cut out a lot of the crap, and you'll naturally fall to an appropriate body size and weight. You don't need to go crazy with it, or the majority of people don't need to go crazy with it. Some people do need to make a drastic change. That's just kind of how it is. But most people can just eat their vegetables, good sandwiches, get good form of protein, carbs, fat, fiber, all of that stuff, and just do normal stuff. Do a sport, take up a hobby, go out for hikes, anything like that. Most people will just drop to what they should be, or build up to what they should be in a lot of cases, because a lot of people could stand to actually gain some muscle, and a lot of people could actually stand to gain some fat. So I'm just doing this video because it's not even people are misinformed, people are just not informed about it, and they think that losing weight is just the right way to go about it, and they give up because they've done something positive and they can't acknowledge that. And that's what I want you to not do. I want you to not do that. I don't want you to to set an arbitrary goal that you won't reach, or if you do reach, it's very unhealthy. A lot of people set weight goals that are just unhealthy. If I said to myself, oh, I want to be 65 kilos, I'd have nothing to me. Yeah, there's no need for it. You got to remember that. Just don't starve yourself. It's not about losing weight. It's about getting yourself into good shape. You want to be able to look in the mirror and look at your abs, your legs, your arms, your shoulders, and like what you see, and not see a bunch of fat. You know, you don't want to. You might not want to see your belly. You might be like, oh, I can't believe I've got all this fat around my belly. You don't need to lose weight. If you actually put on weight but you lose that belly and you can end up seeing your abs, you're probably a lot healthier than you were. I just wanted to share that because it bothers me, and hopefully there are people out there that benefit from this. Again, this isn't a replacement for a professional's opinion. This isn't a one-size-fits-all. There are exceptions, but the majority of people will benefit from these basic rules because that's how the vast majority of people work. Thank you for watching.